What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, bringing you our Week 5 Team Builder. Week 5 Team Builder going up against Week 5? Week 5, all these leagues get me messed up. Week 5 at Team Builder going up against Coach MV and the San Diego Chimchargers. MV in charters. The San Diego Chimchargers. MV's a good friend of mine. If you guys aren't already subscribed to his channel, go show him some love. Go check out his channel. You guys can see his Team Builder, what he's bringing and why he's bringing it. You guys can go check out his side of the battle as well. Typically does do post-commentary gameplay. So if you guys are interested in the shorter versions of that, does also offer some, hindsight commentary as well, looking back on the game from both perspectives. He does offer that. Great guy, great builder, fantastic battler in the format. I'm really looking forward to this. He is in our division, so we're looking to pick up a W today. A little bit of a streak right now, but today's the day we break it. Hopefully today's the day we break it. Tomorrow's the day we break it for those of you guys watching at home, but today's the day we break it for me. Anyways, let's talk about his team here really quickly. You guys see it on the screen here. Just to double check something, I want to make sure I've got some notes here. You will see there has been a change in our roster if you are a very, very careful person, and you guys can see that. You guys will see that we did create what's my English today? I'm forgetting how to English. I just got out of a rough game of Fortnite, so I'm shaking up. You will see there was a change in our roster. We did drop Granbull for Volibee. Granbull wasn't doing too much. I just wanted a fairy to have a fairy. It really didn't seem like a good bring for some of our division. So, and the rest of our matchups just kind of, it looks okay. And there are people like, well, why did you grab another fairy? Why did you grab Volibee? It's very simple. I needed a Hoopa Unbound switch. I needed something for Hoopa Unbound. So, that's why we grabbed Volibee. Volibee is another good defogger, good sports switch, and as well the overcoat ability. So, a little bit of a situational pickup. But Volibee is here on the team. We've got Toga, and Toga is making her debut this week. But let's talk about MV's team first. Before we hop in our own team, his Z captain is Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko, obviously a very fast Pokemon, 130, sets the electric terrain so no Pokemon can go to sleep. Also has the max speed of 200, does get access to defog. It's a very fast defogger now. Hits really hard, both especially and physically. 115 base attack, 95 base special attack. Being able to do things like Thunderbolt, Wild Charge, U-Turn. I would expect a more physical Tapu Koko set this week, I feel like, with Z Brave Bird for something like Tangela, because Tangela is my switch into this thing. I would expect something like that. Next up here, Hoopa Unbound. I told him why I grabbed Volibee. I don't know if he'll bring Hoopa Unbound. But if he does bring Hoopa Unbound, I imagine it's like a trick set. I would imagine it'd be Scarf and Trick just to cripple this thing. But this, we'll see what it does. 170 special attack, 160 attack, 80 speed with a Magician ability. Can be very, very frightening with a Scarf set. We do have answers for it. It does have the 4x weakness to Bug, which a lot of our team is bringing this week. So I am ready for Hoopa Unbound. If he doesn't bring it, great. If he brings it, we're ready. Mega Pinsir, very fast Pokemon, 105 base speed, 160 base attack, 155 base attack, looking at the wrong Pokemon, with the Aerialate ability, turning normal type moves into flying type with that extra 20% power. That is scary with things like Frustration, Return, Quick Attack for the priority, Earthquake, Close Combat, setting up with Swords Dances, and all that fun stuff. Next up, he does have the Empoleon. Despite what the analysts say, a very reliable defogger and a very reliable hazard setter. I really enjoy Empoleon. I think Empoleon is going to put a ton of pressure on me this week if he brings it, which I anticipate him to bring. With good defenses, 88 defense, 101 special defense, Torrent, and the Defiant abilities. Like I said, very solid hazard setter, very solid hazard removal. Pressures me a lot with Toxics and Scalds. Can knock off as well, have that utility, which is something nice to note. The Gligar, Eviolite Gligar can definitely come this week. I would anticipate something like an immunity set. Obviously not Sandvale. If he wants to bring Sandvale, I mean, go for it. But I definitely see immunity Gligar coming this week. Outside of Gligar, SD Mega Beedrill just kind of runs his fade. So I do see Gligar definitely coming. Eviolite with the 105 base defense, absolutely just terrifying. Earthquake, Knockoff, Defog, Rocks, things like that. Kyurem, we've used Kyurem before in the GBA. It's a fantastic Pokemon. Base 95 speed, 130 special attack and physical attack. Being able to fire off not only huge outrages, but huge Draco Meteors, Ice Beams, Earth Powers, things like that is very, very scary. Not too much a means of setup, so something like a Scarf or Scarf Specs or Life Orb set, definitely. Amoonguss is a Pokemon that I definitely anticipate to come. 114 HP. The defense is between 70 and 80, pairing with that huge HP set is very awesome, with the Regenerator ability, giving it 30% of its HP back every time it switches back in. Probably like a Rocky Helmet Amoonguss set is what I see coming. That's like almost certain in my mind. Rocky Helmet Amoonguss is coming. But we do have answers for that, but that is something to worry about. He does have a Regenerator Core. He's got the Alolan Raichu to pair with the Tapu Koko with the Surge Surfer ability, doubling its speed. So already hitting 178 speed total with a Timid, max speed Timid set. Thus doubling that is absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Psychic Stab, Psychic and Electric Stab do wonders to my team, especially given the right coverage. He can do a lot of work. Incineroar is on his team as well. 115 base attack, 60 base speed, nothing too crazy. Maybe like an AV or a Scarf Incineroar set if he does bring it. U-Turn, Darkest Lariat, Flare Blitz, things along those lines. Girder's a Pokemon I definitely had my eye on. A great Eviolite abuser. Iron Fist, Guts, and Sheer Force. All really cool. Does have priority on Mach Punch, so we got to be careful about tossing any statuses off if we do have him, just in case that thing comes around. And then, of course, the Slowbro. Slowbro pairing off nicely with that Amoonguss Regenerator Core with the Regenerator ability, like I said. Physically defensive, 110 base defense, 80 special defense, so it really can't take a special hit too well. But it can toss off Toxics, Calm Mind, Scald, Side Shocks, Ice Beams, all that fun stuff. Very bulky Pokemon. He's got a really great offensive core and a very great defensive core. So we do have our work cut out for this match. You know, there's a lot of matches that I go into 100% confident, like this is the team, this is the plan, this is the bullet points for success. This is not one of those matches. We definitely have our work cut out for us this match. Some things to note: he does not have a Spiker or a T-Spiker on the team. He does have Stealth Rocks in the form of Empoleon and Gligar. His Ground and Poison type being the Amoonguss, so Toxic Spikes would not be a good bring because I really do see that thing coming. He does not have a Rapid Spinner, but he does have 3 Defoggers in the form of Tapu Koko, Empoleon, and Gligar, and then he has no Cleric support on his team. So, all of that out of the way, we can go on ahead and start talking about our team. This is going to be a little bit more of an in-depth team builder, just because I want to go on ahead and start breaking down calculations and things like that as well. Talk a little bit about that. We can kind of tweak the team as we go to in case I see fit. First up here, we are bringing Thundurus, Charge Bolt the Thundurus, Flyinium Z with the Defiant ability. We are bringing Physical Thundurus Incarnate this week with Hidden Power Ice, Fly, Wild Charge, and Super Power. 252, I believe we can drop that down to 248 and bring you up to... No, we cannot. We cannot. I will do this, and then I will do this. There we go. There we go. All right. 4 in HP, 248 in attack, 4 in special attack, 252 speed with a naive nature. I want to drop this in a calc here really quickly just so we can talk a little bit about some of the stuff that it does to his team for sure. We can talk a little bit about that, and I'll talk a little bit about what it does for the team as well. So Hidden Power Ice hits the Gligar. That's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why we have that. On a defensive Gligar set, Hidden Power Ice is a 2-hit KO. Does 60 to 72 on a max HP, max defense, which, like I said, I really do see that coming. He could even rock, like, an extra 12 in special defense, but that's still a clean 2-hit KO on the Gligar with things like that. Wild Charge, obviously not touching it. Fly and Superpower, obviously not touching it at all. HP Ice is specifically there for Gligar. It does a tremendous amount of damage to that thing. He can roost off damage if he wants to. If he thinks it's a safe switch in, he can go for that. Something like U-Turn, something like Earthquake. Knockoff isn't even doing too much to us if he does have it. If he's got the Stone Edge... Stone Edge is not a 2-hit, or Stone Edge is a 2-hit KO, but we do 2-hit KO in return with HP Ice. So it's definitely a gamble right there if we do choose to run something like that and double hit that thing, just so Mega Beedrill has a bit more of a free reign on that. But the HP Ice going off into the Gligar is something that I really do like. Z-Fly is there for the Amoonguss. If he does bring that, just a great way to nuke that thing. If you look at just a regular Amoonguss, we're not Defiant boosted at all. If he is a max HP, max defense, let's just grab that calc here really quickly, just to take a look. Like I said, I'm going a little bit more in depth with the team builder than I have in the past. If you guys like it, let me know. If you guys don't like it, let me know as well. But I did want to just talk about the thought process and just let you guys know the information off of stuff like this. So Supersonic Sky Strike to a max HP, max defense Amoonguss does 111%. 111%. That is huge. That is huge. And we can definitely bring the attack stat down if need be. Based on what other damage stuff like that does. But also looking at his team, he could bring something like, you know, Hoopa Unbound. Hoopa Unbound, we do outspeed. If he's like a spec set with Hoopa Unbound, You know, Z-Fly knocks that thing out as well. Wild Charge does an incredible amount. If we can get a Defiant boost off something like this, I might just keep Thundurus in and just kind of roll with it, because at +1, we are doing a lot of damage. I mean, +1 Wild Charge knocks out a regular, you know, Specs Hoopa Unbound. Definitely, I think if he brought Hoopa in against this thing, he would anticipate it to be, you know, if Hoopa would probably be Scarfed at that point. So we do have our switch into that with our Volibee right there. And then if he tricks away the Scarf, Thundurus is obviously faster than it, Beedrill is faster than it, Infernape is faster than it as well. The Superpower is there. Superpower is going to be able to hit the gosh diggity darn Empoleon, just in case he's you know, like Wakanberry or something like that, or Shookaberry on the off chance. You know, Wild Charge without the Wakan, Wild Charge does have a chance to do a lot of damage to that if he's just max HP. If he is Wakan, obviously Wild Charge is not doing too much, but Superpower is doing quite a bit of damage to that. Something to note is that we do obviously suffer the attack and the defense drop there. It's another great way of hitting regular Kyurem if he's bringing like a Sub-Roost Kyurem set. If he brings something along the lines of like a max HP Kyurem set, Superpower is still a great way to nuke that thing. A clean 2-hit KO on Kyurem, even after the attack drop with the right rolls. Superpower does knock out the Kyurem. It is a safe way of hitting something like the Incineroar as well. If he's running like an AV set, like a max HP set, Superpower does do quite a bit of damage. Actually knocks out the... It actually knocks out Incineroar after 2 superpowers, which is something to note as well, just in case he thinks it's a switch in, just in case he wants to go for something like that. Pre-existing damage with something like Wild Charge, Superpower will pick up right after that as well. We are set to outspeed the Alolan Raichu by 1 point with this, and the extra 4 in special attack just helps with that HP Ice on there. I was thinking about tweaking that just so like Z-Fly did kill Amoonguss, then we could put a little bit more in special attack, so HP Ice did knock out Gligar. However, I really want to keep the most physical attack. I think a 2-hit KO on Gligar is very nice, because the most he can do is Roost, and I still HP Ice him again. Even though it's not 4 times effective, it's still going to be doing a absolute ton of damage. Let's go ahead. We can talk a little bit about Toga right here. Toga making her debut this week. Like I said, pick this thing up for a Hoopa Unbound switch-in. She has the Eviolite. The Overcoat ability does protect us from Spore if the terrain is not up. Obviously, this is a great Spore switch-in. U-turn, Roost, Knockoff, and Defog. U-turn for the momentum. U-turn, obviously. Let's just take a look here. Hoopa Unbound, Choice Band, Hoopa Unbound. Hoopa Unbound, a special Hoopa Unbound, or physical Hoopa Unbound can do at most 46 to us. Banded with Gunk Shot, and U-turn does knock it out, or does 2-hit KO this thing. And then Hoopa Unbound, Choice Specs. Choice Specs, Hoopa Unbound, obviously with something like Thunderbolt can do a lot of damage to his Focus Blast if he does connect it too. We will have to scout around and play around to see what its set is. If he does bring like Specs Thunderbolt, that is something to know, but U-turn is still doing a nice 2-hit KO on that thing. It's going to give us a lot of turn momentum as well, just in case he does decide to run that route. We're going to be able to turn around, get a defog off, U-turn into something else on his team. Knockoff, like I said, is there for the utility, removing potential choice items from things like Tapu Koko, from things like the removing Gligar's Eviolite, removing choice items from things like Kyurem and Hoopa Unbound as well. Resistance Berries on the Empoleon. I was debating Foul Play over Knockoff, but Knockoff is just a great item to have, just in case he thinks something's a free switch in. Being able to remove its item is really, really cool. And also finding out if it's a Z Crystal. If we go for a Knockoff on Tapu Koko switching in and we see that he does not lose an item, then I'm just going to assume he's, you know, Electrium Z or Flying EMZ or something like that. So as far as it goes, that thing is our Hoopa check. We can run this against a few other physical attackers like Mega Pinsir. If he is like return from a max, so +2 Jolly Mega Pinsir can't kill us with return. If he brings Stone Edge, obviously he can do that. We can talk about Incineroar. Incineroar does do 33 to us at most with a Fire Blast. If he is if he's not too invested, let's see if you're like max special attack. Yeah, Fire Blast still is not even doing a 2-hit KO to us on this thing, which is really nice. Darkest Lariat might as well be chip damage at that point. U-turn does do a bit, Knockoff does do a little bit. It's more so tickle damage to get something in faster. That can revenge kill that thing for sure. Next up here, we do have Real Steel the Jirachi, Choice Scarf Jirachi this week. Rocks, Iron Head, Ice Punch, and U-turn. 44 in HP, 252 max attack, 4 in defense, 4 in special defense, and 204 speed with an adamant nature. With this Choice Scarf, we are outspeeding Scarf Hoopa Unbound. We are able to knock it out with a U-turn from there. Let's pull up some calcs here really quickly just to discuss what all it does for the team here. So let's talk Tapu Koko. If he is regular Tapu Koko, Iron Head 2-hit KOs. If he is Hoopa Unbound, U-turn obviously. U-turn does 141% to that thing. Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir is nice because Ice Punch does 2-hit KO that thing as well. Earthquake does not 2-hit KO. In fact, with the right rolls, Earthquake into Quick Attack does not 2-hit KO, whereas Ice Punch does 2-hit KO. We also do have a 20% chance to freeze thanks to Serene Grace as well. The Gligar, that was another thing that I was curious about with that Ice Punch. Ice Punch does 2-hit KO the Gligar as well. Excuse me, we have a 29% chance to 2-hit KO, but again, the 20% chance to freeze is always there. Amoonguss, I imagine we're doing some damage on that thing as well. If he's like a regular defensive set. Let's check here, which I do anticipate to come. Anticipate Gligar, Amoonguss, and Empoleon, all three of those to come. I really do. Ice Punch is a 3-hit KO. I've got a chance to 3-hit KO. So if he's like max HP, max defense, Amoonguss. So Zen Headbutt could be a little bit better. Zen Headbutt actually does look a little bit better, but I do want rocks this week. I do want rocks. I do want rocks for things like Hoopa, or excuse me, for things like Mega Pinsir, for things like Kyurem, for things like the Incineroar. I definitely think like 3, maybe Cure might not come. Maybe Zen Headbutt on this thing is better, just for the Amoonguss. Maybe that is better. Because Zen Headbutt from this thing into a max HP, max defense Amoonguss is a 2-hit KO. Excuse me, a 93% chance to 2-hit KO after Black Sludge recovery. I think I'm going to keep the rocks. I don't want to put rocks on Ape. I think 4-attack Ape is doing really well this week. Even though Zen Headbutt does do that. We do have answers. Z-Fly. You'll see the Tangela set as well to help with the Amoonguss too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep rocks on Jirachi. But Iron Head is there for the flinches. Iron Head does a ton of damage to everything. It doesn't resist it, obviously. U-turn for the momentum as well. We've got a lot of turn momentum this week, being able to hopefully get the advantage over our opponents. I really don't want to take that for granted. I really want to be able to take as much advantage of the situation as I can if need be. Next up here, we are bringing Anima, the Mega Beedrill, U-turn, Poison Jab, SD, and Drill Run. 116 HP, 252 attack, and 140 in speed with a Jolly Nature. With this, we are outspeeding Tapu Koko by 1 point. Scarfers obviously do have a hard time against, or we do have a hard time against, and will outspeed us if they are set to outpace, you know, a regular Mega Beedrill. We can kind of talk about this a little bit. Tapu Koko obviously does not want to take a Poison Jab. That goes down. We can talk about Hoopa Unbound. Hoopa Unbound is not taking an adaptability boosted U-turn. Poison Jab has a chance to kill that thing, let alone U-turn doing 400%, enough to kill 4 Hoopa Unbounds. We can talk about the Empoleon as well. If he is bringing like a max HP Empoleon set, Drill Run does 2-hit KO. If I can get a Swords Dance up, Drill Run does knock that thing out. If, like I said, if he is max HP, max special defense, max HP, max defense with a little chip damage, we still have a chance to knock that thing out, which is very, very nice to know. Like I said, the Gligar walls this thing incredibly. After that, I mean, we are just doing an incredible amounts of work. +2 Poison Jab has a chance to knock out the Amoonguss. Poison Jab has a 58% chance to 2-hit KO and Amoonguss as well, depending on the sets. I really think Mega Beedrill puts in a lot of work once that Gligar is gone, which is why being able to get rid of its Eviolite with something like the Volibee and being able to HP Ice it with something like the Thundurus is very, very important. We also do have HP Ice on the Infernape because, like I said, I feel Mega Beedrill puts in a ton of work this week. The extra HP actually, Mega Pinsir, the extra HP actually allows us to live... Not anymore, I lied that. Where was that calc at? Where was my calc at for that? What if I did this? What if I did this? Hold on. No, I don't know where my calc was at. I was like, with this extra HP, we don't live a quick attack from Mega Pinsir. Never mind. I don't know where that calc came from. For some reason, I thought that extra bulk let us live something, but it does let us handle things that aren't a Mega Pinsir going for quick attack. Poison Jab at +2 still knocks this thing out. Obviously, quick attack does revenge kill us, but we do have the Toga there. We've got a lot riding on things like the on things like Thundurus, on things like Volibee, on things like Jirachi. I think a lot of our team works really well together this week, and that's why I want to make sure not only I let you guys know everything, but it's also secondhand reassuring for me, knowing everything that goes into this team right now. +2, like I said, once the Gligar is gone, we put in a ton of work overall. Next thing we can talk about is Ibara. Ibara is my Tapu Koko switch in. She has the Eviolite regen this week. A very interesting set. Sub Worry Seed, Endeavor, Stunspore, 244 HP, 12 in defense, 252 special defense with a Calm Nature. Like I said, Tapu Koko switch in. Believe it to be a physical Tapu Koko. We do take, I believe, Tapu Koko if he is like Z Wild Charge with, let's just calc Brave Bird. A Z from a, let's see here. From a max speed or a max attack Z Brave Bird, we do eat that. That does 69 to 81% to us with the Tangela, and we can go for an Endeavor there just to bring it down to our HP. This thing is really good for Amoonguss. This thing also does help out with the Gligar as well. Being able to sub up in front of the Gligar, being able to Worry Seed things like the Slowbro and the Amoonguss so they lose their Regenerator ability, giving it Insomnia, not allowing them to get that health regen on the way back. Stun Spore is really nice. Can't go for Sleep Powder, obviously, because of the electric terrain, but Stun Spore will be really good speed control later on for things like Beedrill, things like Thundurus. And then Endeavor. With sub Endeavor and Regen, I think that could be really, really cool this week. I think being able to sub up in front of something until I am at a low HP, click Endeavor, and then switch out. I think it's going to be really cool, and I think pairing that with Jirachi's Rocks can come very in handy. I think this is probably the most heat set on the team this week. Definitely this Tangela set. I'm hoping it puts in a lot of work. Also sits in front of things like the Empoleon as well. We do get Toxic, unfortunately, but we can worry about that switching around with our Generator. Being able to Stun Spore that thing as well. Just tossing off Stun Spore is going to be nice speed control. Like I said, he doesn't have a Cleric, so tossing around that yellow color can be very, very nice. And then last but not least, we are bringing Endeavor the Infernape here. Infernape with the Cobra Berry, the Blaze ability, Hidden Power Ice, Fire Blast, Close Combat and U-Turn, 140 in attack, 132 special attack, 236 speed with a Naive Nature. At 236 speed, we are outspeeding Mega Pinsir by 1 point, and we can talk about some calculations with this set right here. Starting off with the Tapu Koko. A regular Tapu Koko at level 50. Fire Blast is a guaranteed 2-hit KO. Obviously does outspeed us, but that is something to note. Hoopa Unbound, if he is, a choice band set, U-Turn does knock that bad boy out, unless he's Tangaberry. But if he's Tangaberry, he can't be Scarfed, and then Beedrill Revenge kills very, very nicely. The Empoleon, if he is like a max HP set, no resistance berry, close combat, has a 62% chance to one-hit KO that thing, which is very nice. So having some rock damage off, previous damage off, and that thing could be very nice. Could be Chople Berry. There's a lot of different resistance berries he can run, which is why typically a lot of people say Empoleon's not too good. But I think the diversity and the reliability of it as a hazard setter and as a hazard remover are far greater than the fact that, running the specific resistance berry for the specific situation. Something like Gligar, like I said, I anticipate that max HP, max defense set. HP has a guaranteed 2-hit KO on that thing as well. Something like the Kyurem, if he does bring the Kyurem, close combat does have a chance to knock that out. After Stealth Rocks, it is a guaranteed 1-hit KO. After Stealth Rocks, obviously, the Slowbro is going to be an issue. I do want to keep something like Tangela around. I do want to keep something like Thundurus around. Potentially even U-turning on Beedrill around for that. I do definitely want to keep those around. I am going to want to pressure him to defog. He's also going to want to pressure me to defog as well, because we do have the 3 Mons that are weak to Stealth Rocks on our side. So that is something to note there. Fire Blast will knock out let me double check this on the Amoonguss if he does bring a defensive pivot on that. Fire Blast is a 2-hit KO on the Amoonguss, provided we are able to hit an 80% accurate move. If he's not max defense, if he's a more defensive set, Fire Blast after Rocks does have a 50% chance to knock him out as well, which is really, really nice. So it's been a little bit lengthier. Like I said, I apologize if you guys are watching this and you're like, wow, he's got a 23-minute team builder. What is this boy doing? I wanted to talk a little bit about it. It's a really, really important matchup, and I really want to do my absolute best for this. I wanted to talk about not only damage calcs and what it brings to the table so you guys understand where the team is at, but also it does reassure me some things, and I know in my head where these things are going when the team is being built and all that good stuff. Just a good refresher course before the battle. So hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, show some love on the like button down below. If you're new, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. Check out MB's channel so you guys can check out his team builder. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's Crimson CBAD versus the Heat Lord tomorrow, week 5 of the GBA. Be ready, be there, be great, do great. Let this outro bang. I'm gonna talk to y'all tomorrow. Later.